Okay, I will try to make this as simple as possible. Um, okay, so let's do a couple of things. First, you know about making the actual kits, I think, but there are a couple of different ways to do it. Um, One is you can actually drag things in just straight from the browser. So I've got a browser here, so I can just grab a kick drum. And if I go like this, if I drag it into the gray area, I can say Drum Machine Designer. See how it gives me these options here? So of those options, I'll click Drum Machine Designer. And now all of a sudden you see the Drum Machine Designer opens up and I've got a cell with that in there. So I can keep going. While it's there, I might as well just do it here. It says, okay, I need some rims and some snares. I won't do the whole kick because it'll take a little too long. But let's see. So here is a snare. Dirty, hard, roomy snare. Boom. And clap. And some hi-hats, closed, and loose. That's plenty. You get the idea. You can drag in more. If I wanted to do a whole bunch at a time, you know about that. You just grab a few at once like this, and you can probably just put them here and it'll just boom, boom, boom. It'll assign them all quickly. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so now I've got my kit. Now, by the way, you don't need to just drag in existing samples. You can make your own. Let's say I just wanted to go boosh as a sound. So here I'll grab a pad. If I want to change one of these, let's say here instead of this one here, I'm going to go to my sampler. I'm going to hit recorder, and I'll just go like this. I'll have to actually pick an input. So I'm going to come in through my mic. Boosh. And now I've actually got that as a sound. Boosh, boosh, boo, 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 boosh. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, and the way I just did that was all I did is I picked the pad and I go to recorder, and then you see the recorder is here, and you saw that I picked my input here the same way you would just in Logic. Okay, so now we've talked about you wanted to know how to save this. So there are a couple of ways to do it, and it's a bit weird because unfortunately, I don't know, I think we talked about the fact that Drum Machine Designer used to be a front end for Ultrabeat, and now it's a front end for the sampler. So it doesn't actually have its own plugin per se. As you can see when I open this, you're just looking at a whole bunch of little sampler plugins. See, every track I go to says Q Sampler, Quick Sampler. And then you just put them all together, and that's what they're calling the Drum Machine Designer. So when you go here, these electronic drum kits, we're not going to save the kit here because it's a completely different kind of file. We have to save a patch, which they go here usually, user patches. So I'll show you a couple of ways to do it. Sort of the simple, straightforward way is we're going to go here. I'm clicking on the Drum Machine Designer, so we're in the right area. And I will click Save, and I'll call this, here we're in Patches, which is the thing that I picked here, User Patches. And you can actually create your own folders as well. So watch this. If I'm over here, I say Save, and let's create a folder called DMD Kits, like that. Okay, so now I'm going to have this folder called DMD Kits. I'm going to call this Jude Kit 1. Save. Okay, so now, as you can see in my user patches, if I go over here, DMD Kits, Jude Kit 1. So if we really like this kit, I can close Logic, or I can just like delete the kit. I don't have to close Logic necessarily. Let's delete some stuff. Delete that, delete that. Okay, so now let's open up a new sound. I'm going to go Designer, create, and let's turn it into Drum Machine Designer. So now we've got Drum Machine Designer, and it defaults to this big room. But instead, let's change it. Let's go User Patch, DMD Kit, Jude Kit, and then boom, there's the kit that we created. So that's one way to save it, but it's a little convoluted, and it's Logic's fault. They didn't really give you a good way to save it. You should just be able to save it here in the electronic drum kits, but you can't. But there's actually another kind of cool way to save it, which I think is faster. And this is not in the Logic manual. I couldn't find this in the Logic manual. I just thought, hey, what if I try this? So, sorry about the glitch. Anyhow, I was saying that there is another way to save your drum machine or your drum kit designer kits that's a little easier than using the library. I like to do it using the Loop browser, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm assuming you know the Loop browser. It's this thing over here that has all the Logic loops. It could also be used just to save kits, and I will show you how. So let's say, for example, we open a kit up here. Let's open Drum Machine Designer. And we'll pick let's just pick one of the stock Logic ones that's already there. Here, Big Room opens up automatically. I could do another one. What's this? Cinematic Funk. Okay, so actually I don't want to use this one because it only doesn't have all the sounds. Let's use one that has everything. Deep Blue. Okay, so this is a nice big full kit. So if we pretend like we made this one ourselves, another way to save it instead of like we were doing it over here in the user patches, that's where we saved our Jude kit over there. But I like to do it this way. What I do is I'm going to click over here and I'm going to say create pattern region. And we don't even really need to make a pattern. I'm just going to click, boom, one kick drum at the beginning. That's my pattern. That's all I need. Now, first of all, you can see this has all the parts. It's got the kicks and the snares and the rims and the claps and blah, 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 all the way down, lots of tracks. Well, what I'm going to do is, let's say I want to call this something else. I'm going to name it J. Cole Kit. I just realized you're not the only J. Cole. I don't know if you know him. Anyway, so I'm hoping I don't have any J. Cole kits in there, but I'm just going to drag this over here. And once I've got it in here, I can tag it. So I can say, all right, it's a drum kit. Let's say that it is an acoustic, relaxed, cheerful, dry kit. All right. Yeah, sure. Acoustic, relaxed, cheerful, and dry. So we can search it up. Look for it now. We've got it saved in here. Let's delete this. Let's delete the entire kit so you know it's completely gone. So there are a few ways we could find it. If you remember it, you could search for it here. But if you don't remember it, you can find it by tags. So you go to your descriptions and you say, okay, I want, well, first of all, the instrument was drums, right? And the description, I think actually I said it was a kit. And the description was acoustic, relaxed, and cheerful. And it narrows it down. And by the way, look what we've got here is J. Cole Kit, right? Now, again, if you'd remember what it was called, there's a much easier way to search for it. You just, let's say we're way over here. If you want to search for it, you just type in J. Cole. And there, we can find it. So now, once you've found it, all you do is you drag it in here into an empty space, and look what happens. I love this. It brings back the entire thing. So I like saving these Drum Machine Designer things here in the Loop browser. But again, you can always do it here in the user patches, and you create your own folder, the DMD kits. Anyway, either of those two ways work. You pick which one's best for you. That's it. Hope all's good. Have a great night.